What's going on, Z Warriors? Mr. Waffles here with another video, deck profile. This time, as you guys saw, my blue protective Android 18. I also like to call it Bay. Shout out to Frankie Lake, you know. But this time it's a blue 18, but with a protective, a tag team variant. So Mark claims tag team. No one else can claim it.
Yep, it's mine. I made it. Screw you, Richie.
All right. So yeah, let's see the MP and
Yeah, my hands are fat, so deal with it.
So why tag team as opposed to protective?
Just the ability to get an ally out. Turn one has been more than enough the entire game just to get a Guildo out. If I'm playing a 20 deck, not 20 deck, I'm sorry, a cell deck, it pretty much it forces them to have to pass if they're very physical. Sometimes I can get you out, which won me a game actually against Fashbender's Roshi today.
You said Fashbender's Roshi? What? The legendary Fashbender?
Yes, I know, and he's gonna play it, and it's bad, and I can't wait for him to scrub out the regional.
Yeah.
All right, so let's get to the crappy deck.
Sure.
2 blue betrayals. I'd like more board presence, more board destruction.
Yeah.
But I actually had overwhelming powers in here, and they weren't doing it for me, so I
really?
ended up cutting them. I would probably put some more in over time. Head knock. This is pretty much my only anger control, which is kind of bad. But it does more than enough. I have a lot of ways to tutor it out, so it's not the worst.
Yeah. 5 life and then 7 with the drill.
Yeah.
And with 20 unpreventable, so pretty good.
So I'm a little heavy on the physical blocks in this build. This again was back when Cell was before it was the pre-errata that I was playing this really heavily. Just to stack it back on my deck and put 4 endurance was pretty big, especially with the 16 ally. It would interact really well. So that was a pretty cool deck. Pretty cool card. This is Villainous Energy Beam, I think it's called, right?
Yeah.
I just put it in today, testing it out. It's okay. It's got 1 endurance.
Cost 3.
Cost 3, so it helps me set up my my power, which is pretty nice, or helps me activate my allies, rather. That's about it. Nothing too great about that card.
I mean, banishment's always good.
Yeah, it was alright.
Yeah.
Whatever. Defensive Blast. So, primarily I'm only running this to combo with Toss. So when I get the combats where I can go from, say, I mean, I probably wouldn't do it, but Blue Terror into 18's Toss into this card, I can do a lot of damage, strain my stages, activate my allies. So it's a pretty cool combo card. Overpowering attack, it's an ally deck, so I mean, this is pretty straightforward. Lets me get an ally from discard or life deck. Sets them to 5 stages above 0, comes in for 5 vanilla. If I have Android attack drill out, it comes in for 7, really good card. Toss opens up a lot of combo opportunities, like I said, with Android Defensive Blast, bringing out 16, 20, what else? I'm sure there's another target that I'm forgetting.
Well, you get the drill.
And the drill, yeah, that's pretty much it in this build.
Yeah.
People usually scout this first, so I don't get to use it that often, but when I do, I can do some pretty crazy combos. Blue Tower is another staple, lets me get any card, rather. So, any non-Dragon Ball card? Yeah, great card. No explanation really needed. I think there's a third one of this somewhere. Blue Arm Blast again. I was again in a very physical heavy meta. Like it for the utility of both an attack and a stop. With Ginyu out, I can see if I should throw it or if I should keep it, so it's really good. Pretty sure we're going to come across another one of those in a minute. Alright, so this is pretty much how the deck works. Whether I'm at full stages or 2 or 3 above, I need to activate my allies. This card sets it up. If I have Android 20 out, it does devastating amount of damage.
Yeah.
Really good card. Clashes, again, more ally tutors, unpreventable damage, greater against Roshi. What else? There was another instance today where it was really good. I don't really remember what it was, but it was a great card. All around really good card, gets allies from banished pile, so if a tug overturns, gets rid of my Nappa, the hit effect, I'll get it back from my banished pile.
And does +4 too.
+4, yeah, and if they manage to, no one ever, the fucking hit effect never happens anyway, it doesn't matter. You gotta believe that, right? I can't.
No, it's all good.
Blue Lunar Ray. Another ally tutor lets me get from discard pile, really good card. If it hits, it goes. The ally goes to full stages. Another card that's really necessary is the Blue Energy Shield. I want to make sure my allies can't be crit away. They normally can't because Android 16, but just in case. Also, it lets me set my stages to 0, which is another really good card. So that with Draining Blast sets up my allies. Narrow Escape is really good for a couple of reasons, actually, and this is pretty interesting. The 2 endurance, or 3 endurance, like everybody knows, lets you stack 2 cards on top, 2 energy combats, but with her level 1 power, If your energy hits, you can set up. If you stop an energy, you can set up 2 energy combats. If you have 2 cards in hand, you can use your power and then take those 2 cards that you stacked. So it's a cool interaction. It's helped me quite a few times. Time. Enhanced Reflexes is really for Krillin, but it's nice to have another Omni. I think in this deck I have 6 Omni blocks. Yeah. I gotta think about cutting it now that Krillin's kind of gone. 3 Villainous Energy Sphere. Definitely need it. This deck doesn't work without it because you need to be able to counter Namekian, Black, pretty much anything. You need 3. If you don't have 3, don't even bother. Or try it and lose, whatever. 3 Stare Down. Again, it's hand disruption. You want to be able to hit your Draining Blast for like 13 or your Head Knock for 7s. You got to make sure the damage goes through. Another Omni block, Endurance 2. Banish after use unless you have 3 anger. I usually don't, but in case you do, it's cool to have. 2 Android attack drills. 2 always felt like the right number. Then pretty much any Android deck, I'm able to tutor it out with Toss.
It's a backup plan, basically.
Yeah, pretty much. It buffs all my attacks. It makes my level 1 do 2 life cards. Very important. So this is a new edition, which I just tried today, and it's come in handy with every game that I won. Even against the cell that I lost, I ended up milling him 14, but it didn't matter because Ariel needs a card, so that's really annoying. But still, mill 14 is pretty awesome. Sometimes Nappa doesn't stay out, sometimes you don't need Nappa, so it's always good to have this. It's a one-of. You can use your power to put it away if you happen to draw it. I have the 2 VTPs. Nothing really crazy. They're just VTPs, how they are. Alright, so for allies. Alright, so I have Ginyu, which sometimes I'll do them turn 1, like if I'm going against a really slow match, if I know I can keep them contained or something like that, and I just want to see their hand, I'll go for Captain Ginyu.
Or maybe a deck that you don't really know you might have, or...
I mean, at this point, I kind of, until set 6, I kind of have a grasp of what most people are going to be running, but it's nice to know their hand. It's nice to know what's going to hit, when it's going to hit. It's good to have that control.
Helps the power of 18 for sure.
100%. I mean, sometimes I'll go for 16 first, but if not, I'll go for Captain Ginyu. Jaice is here. Once again, he's just another action. He pushes for 5, 6 with the Android attack drill. You can activate him pretty easily with the Energy Shield and the Training Blast. Really good. He does raise a player's anger 1. Never really bothers me. Sometimes it could be a problem, but actually Android Defensive Blast shuts off non-styled attack cards hit effects or immediate effects, so you can negate the anger if you really need to. Shouldn't come up too often. Android 20 is pretty much the backbone of the deck. I don't ever get him first unless it's against the Roshi. I like to do it mid-game. This deck really feels like a mid-range deck.
You want to do it where it has a lot of value,
exactly,
like earlier
especially
on.
when I have Ginyu out. It's nice to have that, and pretty much the majority of games I won was because of 20, and that's, I'm sure, a lot of cases with Android.
He's a finisher pretty much.
Yeah, pretty much. Nappa, again, sometimes I'll pull him turn 1 against the Namekian, especially I'll pull him turn 1. I was playing this guy right here, and he's actually getting super salty every time I pulled him out because he couldn't go to level 2 Yamcha, and that made my day. So, Nappa, I like Nappa. Alright, so Guildo, if I'm going against a Namekian cell, I'll pull him out first. And the reason being is they're usually very physical based, so I'll let them drain my stages down, or I'll let them, or I'll have another way to drain my stages, and Guildo activates. It gets really scary for them to start attacking me at that point because all my energies are buffed. I've got free energies in Draining Blast, I've got allies to pay stages, so it's not really wise for them to attack. They often have to pass. Not to mention, it also buffs Android 18's level 1 power. It can come in with 4 and 2 if Android attack drills out. It's really good. 16 is another ally that's very solid. -2 life cards. It's basically an orange, hiding drill?
Yeah.
Orange hiding drill in every Android deck. The only problem with both 20 and 16 is that they affect the other player if they're Android. So if I'm playing an Android 20, I don't want to drop 20 or 16 because it kind of bites me in the ass. So he can be a double-edged sword, but he's a very solid choice, especially against an energy beats like a blue Yamcha or an orange Yamcha, something like that.
Yeah.
And I think I already did Captain Ginyu, so that's it for the allies. And then I just have Ball 7 because it swings games. It can be risky to drop early on, but it swings games. Really good card, and that's pretty much the deck. A lot of combo potential.
Nice.
Toss, Defensive Blast. And I feel like I'm missing an arm blast. That kind of sucks.
It's all good.
Yeah.
So this might be 60 minus an arm blast or something like that. So it's pretty good, solid, like very heavy beats, and like the utility of defensiveness with 16. So you don't have to worry about signature chokes and stuff like that. You could worry less about allies being crittered away and more just output and damage. So
yeah, what's cool is late game. It actually happened earlier. I had the crouch was against Dave. He went to go sinister choke me for 4-1 with 16 out. So I used crouch, put it on top. I still had to banish all the damage, but technically, even though the crouch was there, it was really only 3 life cards at the end of the day. So that was a cool interaction.
Nice. Anything that you would change since like the pre-errata? Post-errata cell and everything like that?
Not too much. I want more board destruction. I had, like I said, the overwhelming powers in here, but they eventually got cut. I'm just trying out some new things. Really just messing around until the set 6 drops and this becomes Android 13. When Brawley kind of like phases away a little bit. I think that Brawley's going to kind of be a dud after a little while. So once people are done teching for him, maybe he'll come back. But for now, whatever. I'm getting off track. This is going to become 13.
Yeah, nice. Anything that again you would change right now? You're just going to wait for 13, pretty much.
Pretty much. This is where the deck stays. It could definitely be tweaked a little bit more here and there. Like I said, I'm trying out the villainous whatever beams, energy beams, and.
The villainous beams.
And it was okay.
Yeah, nice.
Maybe like an Android arm breaker. This could become, I don't know, whatever.
Yeah,
It's a solid.
There's a
deck.
potential because with toss, opens up a lot of stuff.
It does well. It just has trouble with the Namekian, and maybe I'd throw in like a wall breaker or something just to slow him down a little bit. But you can't slow down Cell, so.
Yeah.
That's about it. You
Awesome.
can always tech in copy blocks too if you're really worried about their level 3 power. That was how I used to have it. I used to, when this was a Ginyu, I used to copy the level 3 power and I was out angering, or out leveling rather, cells at the time. It was pretty cool.
Nice.
But that's about it for the deck.
Awesome. So there you guys go. This is Marc Bolger's tag team Android 18 deck. He claims it first, so no one else can claim it. That's
Also
the rule.
sweating like a bitch too.
Oh, nice. So any shout outs you want to give?
No.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna be respectful.
Okay. Sure. All right. Well, there you guys have.
Next one, though.
Next one. Okay. Stay tuned, guys.